It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. What's up, folks? Welcome back. Haven't seen you guys in a while. We are back with a video for you guys today with some picks in the NBA and college basketball. Haven't had a chance to make any videos over the last couple of days, mainly because YouTube's algorithm has been just kind of janky. And we found that our core audience is usually on Twitter, although we like to operate both ways. There's not a lot of channels that are doing both Twitter and YouTube, and we're trying to be able to explain our picks more than just putting some numbers on a tweet. So we're going to try to stick to this format. I will link our Twitter profile in the description of this video. That way, if you don't have it, you can click on it and at least take a look. If you're not on Twitter and you're gambling, I don't know what you're doing. There's a wealth of information on there at all times, so I'd recommend hopping on there. But let's start the channel. 10-5 yesterday, great day. Gave out a ton of picks, tons of prop picks. March Madness has started, so to speak, with these conference tournaments getting underway yesterday. NBA is off and going, and we're gonna follow along. We're gonna start in the NBA tonight. The first pick that I really, I love this pick. The Lakers minus 2.5 points in the first quarter. They are taking on the Pelicans in Los Angeles. If you've been following along with these new look LA Lakers, they look tremendous, and they look tremendous early. Luka has kind of found his niche with this team where he knows it's time for him to come out and take over the game immediately. If you've seen some of his first quarter outputs over the last 2 weeks, scoring, rebounding, passing, he's filling up the stat sheet in the first quarter, and the Lakers are just coming right along with him. And this Pelicans team, they have some nice scorers, but the Lakers are playing tremendous defense. I just think 2.5 points is not enough. So we're going to take the Lakers minus 2.5 in the first quarter, short and sweet. Second pick is going to be a wagon that I've been on for a couple weeks. And that is anytime the Atlanta Hawks are playing, I want the over. They don't play defense. They don't stop scoring. And tonight they got a matchup against Milwaukee. Milwaukee is rested. They got Giannis. You got Damian Lillard, both expected to play. Again, this is the NBA, so who knows what's going to happen. But if we get both of those guys, the game's in Atlanta, total set at 240.5, and I just think that's too low. I think both teams get into the 120s, and that pushes the total over, and simple as that. Atlanta they just played last night, 132-130. They beat Memphis in Memphis. A good team, missing Ja Morant, so missing some firepower. And Desmond Bane just went out there and had a triple-double against them, 35 points. And you're talking about Giannis and Dame. What are they going to do to them? So, love that pick. That's going to be our second pick. So, Atlanta, Milwaukee over 240.5. I'd probably take that to like 245. Third pick, we're going to go to Madison Square Garden, the Mecca of basketball. Shout out my boy Josh, Big Man Krantz. His New York Knicks are going to host Steph Curry. And if you followed us on Twitter yesterday, we took Steph Curry's under in three-pointers. It was set at 5.5 yesterday. They were playing in Charlotte. I think a lot of people thought, oh, well, his father played in Charlotte and his brother played in Charlotte. He's from the area, North Carolina. Like, he's going to go light it up at home. He doesn't care about playing the Hornets. They're terrible. So he did what he did. He scored 21. He didn't really play in the fourth quarter, had a lot of assists, made 3 3-pointers. His total was set at 5.5, so that was an easy under for us, but we're going to go the opposite way today. He walks into Madison Square Garden, where everybody loves to play their best basketball if you're a superstar, and Steph is going to be no different. He's got a total of 4.5 3-pointers in this game. It's a little bit juiced, but I love it. Hammer that one. I think Steph makes 5, 6, 7 threes tonight. He's going to try to show out. So that one's a lock in for us. And then the fourth pick in the association, that we're going to go with. And remember, these are just for the video. We're going to have a lot more. I've got a whole list of another 8 or 10 props that I really like. But these are just for the purpose of the video. This first set of picks will be on the video. The second set of picks will be just a separate tweet that we put. And again, I can put it in the bio for you guys, or the description of this. That way, if you don't make it over to Twitter, at least you could see the picks. Fourth pick is going to be another 3-point shooter. He's second in the league in makes, second in the league in attempts. He's shooting 40% from 3. He's the new face of the NBA. Anthony Edwards at home against Philadelphia, over 3.5 3-pointers. And he is simply just making 4 3-pointers pretty regularly right now. He just had 6 last night or the night before against Phoenix. And this is just a good spot. No Tyrese Maxey, at least right now for Philly. Who knows? This all changes all the time. But if Ant plays over 3.5 threes, lock that one in. It's just as simple as he's making that many. He's taking 12 threes a game. It's the same logic with Curry. They're shooting, the volume is there. And if they're shooting 40% from 3, just by simple math, you expect them to make enough threes to cover this number. So 3.5 threes, Ant Edwards, lock it in. Those are going to be our 4 NBA picks for today. And then we switch over to college basketball, and we're going to start in the MAC. This isn't a conference tournament game, but it is a conference game nonetheless, between 2 teams who do not play any defense. Central Michigan and Ball State, over 147 points. And speaking with Josh, we liked this up to at least 150. But at 147, I feel really comfortable. I think it gets into the 150s myself. These teams have proven they both want to score in the 70s. They both want to push the pace. They don't play much defense. Both teams have gone over and at least 60% of their games over the last 10 games. So the numbers are there to say that they're going to do this. I know because I've bet a lot of these games, and I'm just watching these teams constantly go over. There's not really any seeding at stake as far as the MAC conference tournament goes. So they can kind of play free. There's no pressure in the game. They're just going to go out there and hoop. So Central Michigan and Ball State over 147. We're going to go with that. Our second pick, I don't understand this pick, and I've been tricked on these before, but I just can't ignore this line. Auburn minus 4.5 at Texas A&M. Texas A&M is not, they're not one of the 25 best teams in the country. There's been a lot of parity in college basketball this year, so we've been forced to rank teams that maybe shouldn't be ranked, but A&M doesn't score any points. They rebound the hell out of the ball until they face a team with a giant front line and great defense like Auburn, who can also score 90 points on anybody. So I just don't understand where the value is on taking A&M plus 4.5. I get that they're at home, but Auburn should win this game by 7 to 10 points. So we're gonna roll with Auburn minus 4.5. Lock that one in. Our third pick of the day, we're gonna go out to Utah. Utah is at home. They're taking on a West Virginia team, a scrappy West Virginia team. But this is just the tale of the home and away splits between these teams. Utah is exponentially better at everything at home. Shooting, pace, 3-pointers made. It's the elevation out there that they're used to playing at that other teams are not used to playing at. So you get Utah at home minus 3.5 against a West Virginia team that doesn't particularly play good offense, tries to trap a lot, slow the game down, and Utah is not going to have any of that on their court. So we like Utah minus 3.5 at home, just as simple as just the home and away split between these two teams, and it just favoring the home team in this particular matchup. And then the last pick we're going to go with in college basketball is, and Josh and I spent about an hour on this game yesterday, and for what reason I don't know. These two teams are bad. Quick transition, our neighbor stopped us while we were walking and said, hey, what are the picks for today? Trying to put my kids through college. And so I had to stop and give her the knowledge that she needed to have to get these parlays and whatnot cracking. But We're back with our last pick of the day in the Sun Belt, baby. Let's go. Of course, I knew you knew we were talking about Coastal Carolina and Southern Miss. And how could we not? One team has lost 11 in a row. The other one has lost 10 out of 11. They are the two bottom teams in the Sun Belt. But there's one key factor. A gentleman named Jordan Battle. He might be the thumbnail for this video because this dude, he's like a 14-point-a-game guy, nothing special, regular run-of-the-mill college basketball guard. Until he plays Southern Miss. He plays for Coastal Carolina, and when he plays Southern Miss, and sees those boys across the court, prime MJ. Dude is averaging like 25 a game against them. He can't miss his shots. They got a center that's 7'2" that had a great game against Southern Miss. They got a guy that comes off the bench. It scored 18 and 10 against them with a mustache, and he just looks like all sorts of trouble. And Southern Miss's best player is 6'7". He averages a double-double. But when he's going to go face these giant dudes, and Jordan Battle, who I honestly thought was Junior Battle from Coach Carter at first, it's going to be trouble for them. And this is just their kryptonite. It happens to be, obviously they've lost a lot of games to a lot of teams, but in particular, this is the worst matchup they could have had in the first round. Southern Miss just... they don't have the horses to run with Coastal Carolina. And so we're going to take Coastal Carolina plus the 3 points. I like them on the money line too, but I'm not going to get egregious. You guys don't want to take that pick, don't take it. But I'm going to end this video off by saying it's Coastal Carolina to the moon. I might take them to win the Natty. All the research I did on this team, and I think I found a diamond in the rough if they get to play Southern Miss every single game. But this game in particular, we like them to beat them. But +3, you're going to give me +3 at -110. I'm going to take it. So Coastal Carolina +3. So just a quick recap of the video before we head back in and get these picks out to you. Again, follow us on Twitter. There are going to be, I think I wrote down at least 8 or 9 more picks that are going to be on Twitter. Lots of props for the NBA, some college basketball picks that didn't make the video, but as of now in the NBA, we got the Lakers -2.5 in the first quarter against the Pelicans. We like the Hawks and the Bucks to go over 240.5. We like Steph Curry to make 5 or more threes in the Garden. We like Ant-Man to continue his hot shooting and make at least 4 threes at home against Philly. And then college basketball, Central Michigan and Ball State are going to go over 147. We like Auburn -4.5, number 1 team in the country, taking on A&M at A&M. We like Coastal Carolina +3, baby. Chance of clears to the moon. And then our final pick is going to be Utah at home -3.5 against West Virginia. Follow us on Spreads and Props, Twitter, like, subscribe, do all that, run these numbers up, and let's go, baby. Let's go green.